The Derek Fisher experience has come full circle as Coach Fisher killed GM Fisher by benching their star player who left via free agency, and then ultimately GM Fisher killed Coach Fisher by putting together a Frankenstein team, which resulted in him being fired not even halfway through the 2022 WNBA season. Fisher set the wheels turning towards his firing in his first year of coaching when he decided to sit Candice Parker in the fourth quarter of an elimination game in the playoffs. From that point on, the relationship was fractured. There's probably little doubt that Parker can be a pain to coach at times. However, Fisher should have known, just like in the NBA, the WNBA is a players' league. After Park went to Chicago, Fisher was on the receiving end of brutal memes and tweets making fun of him sitting home out of the playoffs while Parker was winning a championship for the Chicago Sky. As a result, Fisher came into the 2022 WNBA season on the hot seat. Coach/GMs that are on the hot seat often make bad personnel decisions. I'm looking at you, Stan Van Gundy, and the trade for Blake Griffin. Fisher's big offseason move was to bring in free agent Liz Cambage. Bringing in Cambage to the Sparks was like putting an anchor on the team. Cambage is constantly being exposed on defense and pick and rolls where the stretch fives are making her pay for not being able to defend in space. It's ironic that her old team, the Aces, did the best job of exposing this when they beat the Sparks by 20 and demonstrated why they did little to try to bring Cambage back. Although a massive liability on defense, Cambage is still very effective on offense. However, the players around her on the Sparks do her no favors. Whenever the ball is thrown inside of Cambage, the opposition collapses and mauls her as they don't respect the three-pointer. And why should they? The Sparks have the fewest attempts per game with 15 and the fewest makes per game with 5. This is the lowest out of all of the WNBA teams. So let's cut to Fisher's last game against the Phoenix Mercury. Come the fourth quarter, in a tight game, Fisher took Cambage out at the 7:40 mark, and she did not go back into the game. Without BG, the Mercury went small, and Fisher had to make a choice. He decided to stay small and left Cambage on the bench for the rest of the game. After the game, he sort of alluded to it being a decision of the moment not to have Cambage playing, as they were struggling to contain what Phoenix were doing. Fisher said the following in the press conference: "When we look back on it, maybe it was a mistake on my part to not have her out there in the fourth," Fisher said after the game. "We just felt like we were struggling to contain some of the things they were doing offensively, just in terms of the activity level. I think this ultimately doomed Fisher and led to his firing, as it's hard to explain to management why your big free agent acquisition is not able to play in a tight game in the fourth quarter." 2 days later, Fisher was officially out of a job. So where from here? Fred Williams has been appointed head coach. He previously coached Cambage in Dallas. Will he roll with Cambage and increase her minutes from 24 to 29 per game like he had her play while she was in Dallas? Is this even possible, as Cambage looks gassed after 5 minutes in each quarter and then struggles to get back on defense? Will Williams go back to Canada over Kennedy Carter? Will Samuelson remain in the starting lineup? It's unclear if Williams is the long-term answer as a coach, as he was hired in May to be the assistant with Auburn's women's basketball college team for the upcoming 2022-23 season, and was planning on leaving the Sparks this summer to join the Tigers. If he has success, will he ditch the Tigers and stay in the WNBA with the Sparks? Early season coaching changes always have a chance of backfiring in the short term, but with a familiar face and Williams taking over, it's likely the Sparks will have a good enough change to regroup and return to the playoffs at a minimum. They have the talent to do so, and their second half schedule should be easier, as they will have a chance to have some homestands, as they started the season with the majority of their games on the road, as it was assumed the Lakers and Clippers would be making deep playoff runs and make their arena unavailable. Even if the Sparks are able to regroup and make the playoffs, a bad scenario awaits, as they'll likely face the Aces, who are the top seed in the WNBA. This is a bad matchup for the Sparks, as it will expose their major weakness, which is basically Liz Cambage and her defense when teams go small. If this occurs, then the Sparks could be looking at a sweep out of the playoffs, and they'll be exactly where no franchise wants to be, a mediocre team with an older roster. Will the Sparks be willing to blow it up Indiana style if that occurs, even after 2 down years? Time will tell. Anyway, it should be interesting to see how it plays out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. More content to come. Best way to help this channel grow is to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.